I'm Christopher. I'm 28. I live in Atlanta. And lately, I just knew something was off with Monica, my wife. She wasn't looking at me the same. She was glued to her phone. Her laugh wasn't real anymore. You know that gut feeling that something's wrong even when there's no proof? Yeah, I felt it. At first, I tried to ignore it, told myself I was imagining things. Maybe it was stress, maybe work was getting to her, or maybe I was just overthinking. We all go through rough patches in marriage, right? That's what I kept telling myself. But the more I tried to push it away, the louder the doubt became. Monica and I had been together for 5 years, married for 3. She used to light up when I walked in the room. She'd run to the door to hug me after work. We'd stay up late talking about everything, dreams, fears, even dumb stuff like what toppings we'd put on a pizza if we could only choose one for the rest of our lives. She was my best friend, my home, but lately it felt like I was living with a stranger. She stopped talking to me about her day. Conversations got shorter. She started locking her phone, something she'd never done before, and when I'd ask her what was wrong, she'd just say, "Nothing, I'm just tired." Every single time. Always just tired. But I could see it. The way she'd smile at texts she wouldn't show me. The way she'd turn the screen away when I walked into the room. The way she'd go take a shower right after getting home and spend almost an hour in the bathroom with her phone. I started to feel crazy, like maybe I was becoming paranoid. I didn't want to be that guy, jealous, insecure, controlling. I didn't want to accuse her of something without proof. I still loved her. I still wanted to believe in us. But love isn't blind. It just hurts when you finally see. One night we were watching a movie on the couch, and she got a message. Her phone lit up. She glanced at it and smiled, that soft little smile she used to give me. And then, just like that, she put the phone face down and kept watching the movie like nothing happened. And that's when it hit me. That smile wasn't for me anymore. My chest felt tight. My heart was pounding, and I didn't even know why. I was sitting next to the woman I loved, and I felt more alone than ever. It's a strange kind of pain. Watching someone drift away from you while they're still right there, breathing the same air, sharing the same bed, saying the same "I love you" every night, but it feels empty. I started noticing more things after that. How she'd leave. The room to answer certain calls. How she started going out more. Girls' nights that didn't sound quite real. How she'd get dressed up like she used to for me, but not for me anymore. I kept it all to myself. I didn't tell my boys. Didn't tell my mom, didn't even write it down. Just kept smiling through it, acting normal, pretending everything was okay. But deep inside, I knew it wasn't. I couldn't shake the feeling. It was like a constant whisper in the back of my mind. Something's wrong. She's hiding something. And eventually I realized, if I didn't find out the truth, it would eat me alive. That's when I made the decision. I didn't sleep that night. I lay there staring at the ceiling while Monica breathed softly beside me, peaceful, like nothing was wrong. And maybe for her, nothing was wrong. Maybe I was the only one drowning in silence, trying to figure out what the hell happened to us. My mind kept spinning, playing every moment, every odd look, every phone call, every late night out. Like some kind of twisted movie. And the worst part? I wanted to be wrong. God, I wanted to be wrong. I kept thinking, maybe she was just tired. Maybe she was going through something she didn't know how to talk about. Maybe this wasn't about another man. But then that voice in my head would whisper, then why is she hiding things from you? Why does your gut feel like this? So the next day, I made a decision I never thought I'd make. I bought a hidden camera. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even open the box right away. For 2 days, it just sat in the closet, haunting me. Every time I saw it, I felt like I was betraying her. I hated the feeling, hated the idea of spying on the woman I loved. That's not who I am. That's not how I pictured my marriage going. But I was at war with myself. Half of me still hoped there was a simple explanation. The other half needed answers, even if they broke me. So one afternoon while she was out getting groceries, I finally opened the box. It was small, just a little black lens, easy to hide. I set it up on the bookshelf in the living room. A perfect view of the couch, the front door, everything. My hands were shaking the whole time. I kept asking myself, what if you find something you can't unsee? But I already knew the answer. It would hurt more not knowing. I checked the footage settings 3 times before she got home, made sure it was quiet, discreet, nothing obvious. She came back, kissed me on the cheek like always, same routine, same lie. The next few days felt endless. I'd wake up, go to work, come home, pretend everything was fine. We'd eat dinner, watch a show. She'd laugh sometimes, but it never reached her eyes. I started to see the cracks in everything. Things I once ignored. The way she barely touched me anymore. The way she scrolled through her phone under the covers. The way she started avoiding eye contact when she said, "I love you." I waited for the right moment to check the footage. I didn't want to rush it. I was scared. Honestly, I was terrified. But then came that Thursday. She told me she was going to dinner with her coworkers, said it was for someone's birthday. I nodded, smiled, told her to have fun. She got all dressed up, new lipstick, hair curled, wearing the same perfume she used to wear on our anniversary. I stood there in the hallway watching her walk out the door, and something in me shattered a little. I waited until she left, then sat down in front of my laptop. Footage was there. Hours of it. I fast-forwarded through days of nothing. Just us walking around, sitting on the couch, eating. I almost started to feel guilty, like maybe I was wrong, maybe I was just overthinking. But then I found it, a clip, a timestamp I didn't recognize. It was from 2 days ago. She came home in the afternoon, and she wasn't alone. I froze. My hand hovered over the mouse. My heart was pounding in my ears. Clicked play, and what I saw changed everything. My hands were cold. I stared at the screen. The video paused. Monica standing in our hallway, laughing. But it wasn't just her. There was a man behind her. Tall, light-skinned, clean haircut, dressed like he was, going on a date. With my wife. I pressed play. They walked in together, like it was normal. Like this was just another Thursday. She looked happy, comfortable. She didn't look nervous or guilty, just alive. Happier than I'd seen her in months. I watched her take his hand. I watched her pull him toward the living room, toward our couch, where we sat, where we made plans, where we laughed. He sat down like he belonged there, and she curled up next to him, like they'd done this before. Like this wasn't new. My throat tightened, my body tensed up. It felt like watching a dream turn into a nightmare in slow motion. I wanted to stop the video, but I couldn't. My eyes were glued to the screen, even though every second was slicing deeper. She kissed him, right there, in our home, in the house we built together, in the place I thought was sacred. That was the moment something inside me cracked. I wasn't even angry yet. Not really. I was numb. Frozen, watching her, lips on someone else's, watching her laugh like she used to with me, seeing her touch him like he was the one she belonged to, and then they disappeared down the hallway, into our bedroom, our bed. I stopped the video. I couldn't breathe. My chest felt like it was caving in, like the air got sucked out of the room. I sat there in the silence, just staring at my own reflection in the black screen. I felt stupid, embarrassed, violated. I gave this woman everything. My time, my love, my loyalty. I worked late nights so we could afford this home. I skipped trips with the boys so I could be with her. I bent over backwards trying to make her happy, and this is what I got. She brought another man into my house, into our space, into my world. It wasn't just betrayal. It was disrespect on a level I couldn't even process. I paced the room, shaking, trying to collect myself, Thoughts were spinning too fast. My heart was racing. I wanted to scream, break something, drive somewhere, call someone. But I didn't. I just stood there, stuck in a moment I didn't ask for. And then the question started. How long had this been going on? Was this the first time? Was it him she kept texting at night? Did her friends know? Who the hell was he? I couldn't stop shaking. I walked into the bedroom, slowly, like it was a crime scene. I stood at the edge of the bed and just looked at it. The sheets, the pillows, even the little blanket she always kept at the foot. I imagined them here, together, laughing, whispering, doing things I didn't even want to picture. I felt sick. I sat on the floor and just broke. No man ever really plans for this kind of pain. We grow up thinking heartbreak is just something that happens in songs or movies. But this was real, and it burned. It humiliated me. It made me question everything, including myself. And worst of all, I still loved her, even after what I saw, even after that. That's what made it so hard. I knew I couldn't unsee it. I knew things could never go back. But part of me still wanted answers, still needed to hear her say it. Look me in the eyes and explain why. Why I had the footage. I had the truth. Now. I had to decide what the hell to do with it. I didn't sleep that night either. I sat in the kitchen until the sun came up, just staring at the same cup of coffee. It went cold hours ago, but I didn't care. My mind was stuck in that video. Every time I blinked, I saw her face, her smile, her hands on him, that laugh that used to belong to me. I felt like a ghost in my own house. Every creak of the floor, every tick of the clock, it all sounded different now. This place didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like a trap. A lie wrapped in paint and furniture. And when I heard her key in the lock around 7 a.m., my stomach twisted so hard I thought I was going to throw up. She walked in like nothing happened. Hair messy, heels in her hand, wearing a hoodie that wasn't hers. "Morning, babe," she said softly, trying to tiptoe past the kitchen. I didn't say a word, just stared into my cup, heart pounding like a war drum. She paused. "You okay?" I looked up. She froze when she saw my face. I must have looked like hell. Bloodshot eyes, jaw clenched so tight I thought I'd crack a tooth. For a moment, I think she knew. Not what exactly, but something. "Where were you last night?" I asked. She blinked. "I told you. Dinner with my coworkers. We went out for drinks after. It got late." Her voice was too smooth, too practiced. "You sure that's all it was?" I said, leaning forward, locking eyes with her. She hesitated. Just for a second. That second said more than any words ever could. "Chris," she said slowly. "What's going on?" I didn't answer. I reached for my phone, pressed play. The video started, just a short clip. Her walking in with him, laughing, holding hands. "Clear as day," she gasped. Her hand went to her mouth and she took a step back like the screen had slapped her. I watched the color drain from her face. That's when it hit me. She never thought I'd see it, never thought I'd find out. "Chris," she whispered. I can explain." I stood up so fast the chair scraped the floor. "Don't." My voice cracked. It came out raw, like something torn from my chest. "Don't insult me with lies right now, Monica. Don't you dare." She started crying. Not the quiet, guilty kind. It was messy, chaotic. But I couldn't tell if it was from guilt or fear of being caught. And I couldn't bring myself to care. "Who is he?" I asked. She didn't answer. "How long has it been going on?" Still nothing. "You brought him here, Monica," I said, pointing toward the hallway. "To our house, our bed, me and you. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what that does to a man?" She broke down then, dropped to the floor, hands over her face, sobbing. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she kept saying. "I didn't mean to hurt you." I couldn't breathe. My chest was tight, my vision blurred. It felt like the walls were closing in. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to run. But instead, I stood there, numb, like I wasn't even in my own body. You chose this, I said finally, my voice low and trembling. Every message, every lie, every time you looked me in the eye and told me you loved me, you chose this. She didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. I walked, out of the kitchen, out of the house, left her sitting there on the floor, crying into her hands. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't breathe in that house anymore. I drove for hours. No music, no destination, just me and the road, and this, weight crushing my chest, because it wasn't just betrayal, it was the death of everything I thought we were. I parked the car in some random lot across town, didn't even know what neighborhood I was in. I just sat there, gripping the wheel like it could hold me together. The silence was loud. My phone buzzed a few times, probably her. I didn't look, couldn't. I needed space. I needed time. But most of all, I needed answers that I knew she couldn't give me. What do I do now? That question kept hitting me like waves, over and over again. Leave her? Stay and try to fix something that feels shattered beyond repair? Could I ever trust her again? Could I even look at her again without seeing him? I thought about everything we'd been through. The nights we stayed up late talking about our dreams, the struggles we faced together, the way she used to look at me, like I was her safe place. Was that all fake, or did something real just die along the way? Part of me wanted to scream, "I'm done!" Walk away. Never speak to her again. Make her feel every ounce of pain she poured into me. But another part, the stupid, stubborn, loving part, kept whispering, "What if you can fix it?" I hated that voice. I hated how I still cared. I thought about the vows we made, about loyalty, about being there for each other even when it got hard. But this wasn't hard times. This was betrayal. This was a knife to the chest, and yet, there I was, still asking myself what I did wrong, still wondering if I missed the signs, if maybe I'd been too distant, if maybe I wasn't enough. That's the messed up part. When someone betrays you like that, your brain doesn't just go, "She's the problem." It turns inward, starts tearing yourself apart, picking at every flaw, every insecurity, every time you forgot to say, "I love you." It's not fair, but it's real. I called my brother, didn't even plan to, just scrolled through my contacts until my thumb stopped. He answered on the second ring. "Yo, Chris, you good?" Silence. Then I said, "She cheated on me." He didn't say anything at first. Then just, "Where you at?" He met me 20 minutes later with 2 coffees, and that look that only someone who knows you can give you. Part sympathy, part fire. I told him everything. The camera, the video, the hallway, the bedroom. He just shook his head. "Man," he said, "you don't deserve that. Nobody does." I don't know what to do. "Don't rush it," he told me. "You just found out. You're in shock. Don't let guilt or love make you stay somewhere that's killing you." That hit me hard. Because that's exactly what I was doing, holding on to a version of her that doesn't exist anymore. Holding on to memories like they could undo the present. We talked for a while. He didn't give me advice, didn't push me either way. He just sat with me. And somehow, that helped more than anything. Because when your whole world shatters, sometimes all you need is someone to remind you you're still real, still alive, still worth something. When I finally got home that night, the house was quiet. Too quiet. She was asleep on the couch, tear-streaked, wrapped in that blanket she always said felt like safety. I stood there in the doorway for a long time, watching her, trying to feel anything but pain. Trying to see the woman I fell in love with, not the one who broke me, but all I felt was empty. What do I do now? I still didn't know. But I knew one thing for sure. Whatever came next, it had to be for me. Because I'd already lost 2, much trying to be everything for someone who chose to be something for someone else. The days that followed blurred together. I went to work, I came home, I barely spoke. Monica stayed quiet too. She gave me space like she knew I was drifting somewhere far away and didn't want to chase me, or didn't have the right to anymore. She apologized a few times. In long texts, in awkward attempts at conversation, said she made a mistake, that she regretted everything, that she still loved me. But the thing about betrayal is, it changes how words sound. I love you doesn't hit the same when it's coming from someone who already handed your heart to somebody else. I'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathing beside me, wondering how we got here, wondering if love alone is ever enough. And then one night, I sat in the living room with the lights off. Same couch, same silence. But something shifted in me. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe it was clarity. Maybe it was just time. I opened my notes app and made a list. Reasons to stay. We have history. I still love her. I thought we'd grow old together. Part of me wants to believe people can change. Starting over is scary. Then I wrote the second list. Reasons. To leave. She lied. She cheated. She brought another man into our home. I can't look at her without hurting. I deserve peace. And there it was, clear as day. I didn't need to flip a coin. Didn't need a sign from the universe. I had all the answers I needed. I just hadn't been brave enough to admit it. So I packed a bag the next morning. Just a few things. Clothes, essentials, my dignity. I didn't slam doors. I didn't yell. I just moved slowly, like a man walking through the ashes of something he used to believe in. Monica was in the kitchen when she saw the bag. Her face dropped. "Chris," she whispered, "please, can we just talk?" I nodded. "We can, talk, but I'm still leaving." She started crying. "I know I messed up. I know I broke everything, but we can fix this. People come back from worse. I'm not people," I said. "I'm me. And this broke me." She didn't argue after that. Maybe because she saw in my eyes what I'd been too afraid to say for weeks. I was done. Not out of hate, not out of revenge, just out of love for myself. Because I spent too long giving everything to someone who gave me scraps in return. And now I'm starting over. I moved in with my brother for a while. Got a gym membership. Took long walks. Talked to a therapist. Cried more times than I'll ever admit out loud. And slowly, the pain started to loosen its grip. Some nights it still creeps in. The memory of her laugh. The way our hands used to fit. The sound of keys in the door that used to make me smile. But now I smile for other reasons, because I chose me. I chose healing. I chose peace. I chose to stop carrying a love that wasn't mine to hold anymore. And maybe one day I'll love again. Deeper, wiser, softer. But for now, I'm just breathing again, and that's enough.